in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy, howdy everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC, coming at you this Friday morning. Hope everybody is doing well. To my working class folks, I hope you guys are winding down a long week and looking forward to your weekend. If you're off this weekend, maybe get out there and see friends and family, and possibly even enjoy the great outdoors. I know there is a bunch of that white stuff on the ground all over the United States and, of course, Canada. Nothing new for those folks, but definitely something new for a lot of places here in the States, especially my brethren down in Florida. I've been checking you out, Tim. Tim School of Fish. He has been doing some shorts, some videos, keeping us abreast of Snowmageddon 2025 down there in Florida. And folks, I'm telling you, they have got a historic snow event for the state of Florida. I live down there. If you guys know, I'm an old Florida boy myself. Lived down there my first 35, 36 years of my life in Florida. And well, I was in Central Florida, and I don't think I ever seen a snowflake in Central Florida. Now, the Panhandle up in North Florida, they do occasionally get a little dusting, of snow or what have you, but nothing like this. Pensacola, Tim lives in Pensacola Beach. You guys, one of the hot beaches, for folks go to Destin, to Orange Beach, Pensacola Beach, up there in North Florida, to go to the beach, fun and sun. Well, Tim said that they had 10 inches of snow in Pensacola Beach, Florida, which is just mind-boggling. That will probably be something of a lifetime. Probably Tim will never see that again, and Tim's kids probably won't see anything like that up there for the state of Florida. So anyway, I know Tim was saying that it's getting a little bit old because, folks, Florida is not prepared for snow. Snow plows, salt trucks to come salt the road, to plow the road for snow in Florida, that's pretty much non-existent. So when something like this happens in Pensacola Beach, and I'm just talking about, they're not the only people, the only city that got snow, but in Florida general, they just they're just not prepared for it. So hopefully those folks, if you haven't lost power, man, I say get out there, build a snowman, make snow angels, record it, videotape it, just go crazy. I know I would, as a Floridian, that's what I'd be losing my mind. But it ain't no fun if there's power. A lot of times with the snowmen and the white fluffy stuff, there comes power outages and all that, and then that's really sucks. If you can't get out on the road and go anywhere, your power's out, and you are just absolutely stuck and no power. Yeah, that is the fun takes a dump. But hopefully there's power a lot of those places, and if you got power and you can't go anywhere, man, I would just go out there and go crazy with it, because you'll probably never see that again. Anyway, there's the pretty poor HT weather announcement and forecast. So we will get on to something I know a little more about, and that is pocket knives. And we're going to get into my what you toting today in the left pocket. no stranger. You already know the Holy Land pocket cross. Accompanying the pocket cross today in the left pocket, we have the old A-Locks electrician's knife, Victorinox electrician's knife. That is in the left pocket. Today, the old Open Sea leather wallet in the back pocket, as always. And for my main tote today, we had a viewer was asking me the other day when I showed some of my bullets, my single blade trapper, the other day, lockbacks. He was like, where is HT, you ain't sold or traded or got rid of that Stag Mountain Man that you had, that single blade lockback? No, sir. I forget who it was that asked, but in your honor, I am actually toting that today. And there she is in all of her glory. This is the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. And this is the Stag Queen Mountain Man. Check that out. I could do without all this billboarding, but this is also is known as the Mountain Man or the number 3L. But maybe with a few more polishings, or if I ever just get completely tired of it, I can get some sandpaper out, get that billboarding off. But we have already got the cutting on there. You may see some teeners on that. We have already got after it, and we definitely use this knife. And no, sir, to answer your question, this is one that ain't going anywhere anytime soon. I never say never, but this is one that it would take something a lot to pry this one loose, because I love it. Probably should have waited to Saturday, and we could have done Saturday Stagger Day, but I couldn't wait. And that guy in the comments asked about it. I'm like, I'll tote that thing tomorrow. So anyway, just check out that real quick before I put it up. Lord Jesus, look at that stag on this thing, folks. Look how thick that is. Nice Coke bottle handles, shape handle there. Look at that stag. Yes, sir. No, sir, this one has not gone anywhere, but my pocket several days, and today included. So there is that one. And let's get into it. Give me a quick sip of Joe here. Maybe two, because that's really good. And by the way, Big Jim, we are still on. I just used the last grinds of the Deep South Cutlery, that packet of coffee you sent me, which, folks, is 2 thumbs up, HT endorsed. That is some good stuff. And this is the last pot of it, Brother Jim. I may have to look into procuring some more of that coffee, because it is really good. And I have been on it and drinking it every day since you sent it. So thank you for that, brother. Anyway, you guys have seen the thumbnail. So this one is probably going to be a little controversial to a lot of people today. I think I have my thoughts on it pretty clear in my head. Can I parlay them to you guys? We'll see. But is this knife right here, is this, bells should have just went off, little angel wings start flapping when I hold this up. I kidding, but not kidding. Is this the Buck 110, which is hallowed on this channel and by many people in the knife world and community? Is this the 110 killer? Is this a better knife than this? I'm going to try to tackle that. I'm going to give my thoughts on it. And This will be this is only my opinion. Take it as a grain of salt, one man's opinion. And if you've watched this channel long, you know what I think about these. I am a unapologetic buck fanboy. If I use that term, fanboy, it's the popular. I am a buck fan through and through, unapologetically. Think these are one of the greatest inventions in American cutlery history. Fixed blade, folder, period. The Buck 110 is absolutely iconic and hallowed on this channel. But I really love this. I really do. This is the Schrade, also USA made, Old Timer 60T. Give you a look at that tang stamp. If I can do my job. Schrade Plus USA 60T. I was just trying to get it in my head how it's laid out. You got Schrade Plus up top, 60T, US of A. So both American made. Both have, let's get this one open, clip point blades. You can get these in drop points and what have you, but I just brought out a traditional as I could Buck 110 for this comparison. We have clip point blades. They are both hollow ground. Which one came first? This came first. And a lot of knives, folks, have emulated this. This is probably the most copied knife, and for good reason, maybe in U.S. history. Yeah, it's an icon. It's an icon for a reason. But let's talk about this, and let's talk about specs, and I'll give my final assessment. If this is a 110 killer, a better knife than the Buck 110. I can tell you right away, I'm going to jump on the thing that is the biggest pro of this knife that I wish this knife had. Yep, it is a bare head, which means it only has one bolster. This is a bare head lockback, and they have put a nice brass lanyard tube and generous lanyard hole on this model, and I love that. I love a lanyard. That's polarizing, completely opinion. As I throw down a knife, you may hate a lanyard. That may not do it for you whatsoever. This could be a moot point to you. I do give it to them. I think the Buck 110, and I do have a Buck 110. There are models that have a lanyard hole, but on the OG, the original, I would have liked a lanyard hole. That's just me. I love this. I think this is iconic. It is cutlery perfection. But I'd have liked to seen this was a good move here on the 60T. They added a lanyard hole. So far we got same pretty much blade shape. We have the same grinds, hollow grinds on both. Coming down, we have both has brass bolsters up top. Well, now it's when we get into the difference. Over here, we have a nice wood. I don't know if this one is probably a laminate. There is ebony wood. I mean, Buck has went back and forth between ebony from laminated woods. You know, there has been a lot of cover materials for Buck over the years, but this is kind of traditional. It is, for all intents and purposes, we're going to call it a wood. This one may be, like I say, a laminate wood, but they do have hardwoods on a lot of knives. For many a year, they used real ebony. So let's just go with that. Just pretend with me this is pure ebony wood on here, as a lot of them are. Well, this guy, we have Delrin. We have saw cut Delrin. If you can see those saw cuts in there. If I hold it right, there we go in the light. These little vertical lines here. Some people are going to like one over the other. Again, that's personal preference. I'm going to tell you this. I personally think that when Buck rounded, they rounded all these edges and went to the round Buck 110. They did what they were looking for. Now, there's a bunch of you out there going to say they like the old more blocky style 110s. I love them too. Buck has not made a non-ergonomic knife since the 110 existed. I understand why they rounded everything. There's a lot of people that like the old, more blocky style, say that fits better in hand. I won't even argue with you. I understand what they were going for, and it is an ergonomic dream. Personal preference, which one you like, the old style or this new, more rounded style, but it is a neutral, just ergonomic dream. This one ain't bad, but it is a little sharper. They do have a little more sharper edges. The Delrin, the saw cut Delrin, maybe it's more rigid, more rugged in hand than maybe this nice rounded wood. I'm going to give ergonomics to the 110. I just am. My video, my opinion, told y'all that up front. What do I think about Delrin? I love it. Does that mean I hate Delrin? Think it's a crappy, cheap? I know some people talked about Tim's School of Fish earlier. Tim hates brown Delrin. He calls it doo-doo brown. He's one that I know can't stand the Old Timer, the Schrade Delrin. He is not a fan. Well, I am, Tim. I love this stuff. Have no problem with it whatsoever. It is hardy, and if you want to be just downright honest, will Delrin hold up better than real wood? Like if this was ebony, remember we're pretending this is the real wood, ebony wood variant. You can make a case this is more hardy, and this will take elements. Real wood will split, will swell when it gets wet. That is probably a lot of the reason that Buck at the time, on occasion has went to laminated wood, because that takes all that out. Now this particular knife in the laminated wood versus this Delrin, on durability, probably pretty even. This will still take scratches, where this one won't show them as bad. So if you want to give a little edge on aesthetics like durability, if you're going to push these hards, which one's going to look better after hard use? Maybe the old Delrin, because wood or even laminate wood will at least scratch. And if you're beating it and banging it and dropping it like I just did, might even have me a nice little character dent on this one after doing that. It will show it. That one's kind of a pick your poison. Durability of handle materials. I might even give the edge here. Yes, I said it. It's hard. Saw cut Delrin is as durable as it comes, folks. Takes all kind of weather, rain, sweat, cleaning an animal, those fluids, blood, spray it off. Take a licking and keep on ticking like a Timex watch. One thing Delrin will do. Outside of the fact it looks like doo-doo brown, huh, Tim? I pick it, Tim. Tim knows I love him. But what else? We have on this one only one. We have a lock bar rivet pin here through the top, and back here we have that lanyard tube. So this is held together. I'm sure there's some glue and epoxy, and of course this one major lock blade pin on this one, where this guy here has 3 pins. We have the lock blade also pin up here top, plus 3 more body pins on the 110. If I get my finger out of the way. What's more durable there? I've had no problem with either one. Both of these, I've never had one separate or come apart on me. Some people may have. So construction, how well constructed, I would call that a push. So what else is there? Blade steel. This is Schrade Plus stainless steel on this 60T. This is the some would say iconic. Some would. I know I've got a. I'll probably get a comment from one of my buddies here down the comments that says that this 420HC is straight garbage. It is inferior blade steel. Well, Anthony, if you watch this video, let's me and Anthony has agreed to disagree on 420HC. I think this is more than adequate steel. I think the proof is in the pudding. There's more of these around in people's pockets, sheaves, than any other knife, probably lock blade for sure, U.S. lock blade in history. And it has cleaned more whitetail deer. This thing, blade steel, I'm going to tell you is, and I've used them both, is also a wash. There's nothing wrong with 420HC. I know the metallurgy on it. Somebody's going to, well, it only has this much carbon. I mean, it is, okay. This will do anything you want it to do. Will it hold an edge? Is this a super steel? Will this hold an edge for a real long time? No, it won't. Nor will this. They're both stainless steels. And if you look at their metallurgy, if that means anything to you, they're probably inferior. They are inferior, it's not probably, to stuff that's out there now. But I tell you what, I can bring this back. I can touch this up. I have and can get all the way through an animal, a white-tailed deer with either one, and I can clean it off. And in 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the evening, sitting down watching a ball game, I can have this back to hair popping sharp. To me, that is quality blade steel. That is personal opinion. If you want a blade steel that don't lose its edge, will clean 20 deer before it gets dull, this ain't for you. But this will clean 1 or 2 deer, and I can have it back the same way it started, 10 minutes tops. So that's all in what you're looking for. And I promise you, those people that like those ones that'll clean 20, that blade steel that lasts forever, when it does go dull, if they're honest with you, it ain't 5 or 10 minutes to bring it back. It's more like 30 to an hour. So it's a trade-off. There's my thing on blade steel. Either way, hey, you got longer out of it. You got longer out of it with your high-end, high carbide metals before you had to sharpen it. Touche. But when you do got to sharpen it, it's a little more of a booger bear. I didn't get near as long of cutting out of this one, but I brought it back lickety-split. It's up to, that's up to you what you're looking for and what you consider a good blade steel. That's completely subjective. What do I think about this overall? And by the way, I will show you, I brought a couple of models. You can get a buck 110 with a lanyard tube. They have been made. This is the same knife as this, but in a lightweight. This is the Buck LT or Buck Light. Same blades, same dimensions, a lot lighter. This is a composite, a synthetic, plastic, if you will. Handles on this guy. Still has a lockback. And here's your lanyard hole. I still wish these big bruisers had a lanyard hole like this guy. But just got to show you, you can get a buck 110 with a lanyard hole. Not in the wood and the brass, but they do make a lightweight. And this is like, half the weight of this big bruiser. This is like 3 ounces. and it has a lanyard hole. So, and also there's this model, another model that's often overlooked that I love. This is the Buck 450, and it has a lanyard hole. So no, it is a completely different model, but I'm just letting you know there is models out there. Buck has made knives with lanyards. They are out there. Love this knife, the 450. Often overlooked, but a great knife. But there are Buck 110s with lanyard holes. They can be found. They just can't be found in the big boys and the heavyweights. Does this beat or supplant the 110? No, nothing ever will. Just my opinion. You probably knew this was coming. That wasn't too much of a climax there for an ending. I love this. This is one of my favorite knives in existence. I love everything about it. Is it a 110 killer? Absolutely not. These are still going strong. They're still selling them by the bunches today, and you can still get one of these. These are still being made. They are China made now. A Schrade, if you want a 60T, they are still being made, but you're going to have to stomach the whole China thing if that's a big deal to you. They are no longer American made, but I'm going to tell you, even if they were, this is an icon. This already has its place in cutlery history. They have come, they have went. This has been imitated, duplicated, and a lot of them, most of the duplicates of these have fell by the wayside, and this is still an icon, and they're still selling them by the droves. So I love this. This is one of my favorite lockbacks. I will say top 5 all day without even thinking of it. Of my big bruisers, my BIGGUNS, I love a 60T. And I'll go as far as this. This is my favorite Schrade. I didn't say Uncle Henry. Oh, this is my favorite Schrade produced BIGGUN. You know, the 70T, the LB7, the 80, the 60T is my cat's meow. It is numero uno that Schrade has ever made. Love this knife. Love the fact it comes with a lanyard. Love everything about it. That's the king, folks. It just is. That's my opinion. I don't think nothing will ever supplant the, just the lore and American cutlery history of the Buck 110. It's on hallowed ground. I love it. And of course, I love everything about this knife too. Wish the big guy had a lanyard, but it is not by no means is it a deal breaker. I have a ton of these in my collection. Still get them. Matter of fact, this is my most recent one. Showed it the other day that I picked up, and I will still keep picking them up because I love them. And there's a lot of people that agree because they're still, like I say, going strong. Anyway, this has been about the 60T. This was for comparison. Is this a 110 killer? Does this supplant the Buck 110? No, but is this a fantastic, phenomenal lockback in every sense of the word? 100%. Go get you one. If you can find one of the USA models on a secondary market, I would suggest you get one. They're fantastic. If you don't mind the whole China thing, you can save a lot of money. These are like $25 right now online, and everybody has them if you don't mind the whole China thing. The 60T, it's awesome, folks. Not a bad word to say about it. We're going to get out of here. I love you. Thank you for putting up with all my rambles on that, and we're going to see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. I'm HT, and I am